Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to our English speaking practice class. I am very excited for you because you are going to practice speaking. You're going to open your mouth and use all the vocabulary and grammar rules that you spend so long learning. So let's get started. Here is our first image. Now, notice you have one keyword. And this is very important because the keyword tells you what verb tense you need. Now, you can look at the image because in order to form a sentence correctly in English, you need to know the subject and you need to know the time reference because the time reference tells you the verb. And often the verb is conjugated with the subject. Now, for all my students watching live, you can leave your example sentences in the comments and practice speaking out loud. And for my students watching the replay, I want you to participate just like you are with me live right now. So we have our keyword every morning. Now, for our subject, you could look at the person. You could even look at the scenery and use something like the weather or even the bike could be the subject as well. So, what could we form? What sentence could we form using the keyword? Any ideas? And notice, I want you to answer out loud because when you say something in your head, you might think to yourself, I'm thinking every morning he or every morning she, but I'm thinking it. It's not the same because you're not practicing your pronunciation. You're not getting comfortable hearing yourself speaking in English. So I already see an example and I see lots of students. Howdy, Manfi. Do you know this greeting in English? Howdy, howdy. It's a very casual, common way to say hi. It's specifically used in the southern US, but it's used elsewhere in North America as well. Howdy. Hi, Horatio. And Anna from Brazil. Hello. Zuzi. Hello. All right. And Glenda says, I love your new look. Oh, well, thank you. I cut my hair. I'm glad you notice it. Notice she said, your new look, your new look. Well, thank you so much. Okay, now to get to our example here. He rides his bicycle every morning for an hour. Excellent job, AK. So we have our verb ride. And of course, every morning is a keyword for what verb tense? You know this. Of course, you know this because it's the first verb tense you learn in English. Yet, it's still one of the most common mistakes that I correct from my students is incorrect verb conjugation in the present simple. But AK got it. He rides his bicycle. You can absolutely say bicycle. No, you can also shorten that to simply bike. He rides his bike. He rides his bicycle. Most native speakers say bike. He rides his bike every morning for an hour. Very nicely said. I love it. Okay, let's see. Ariel said earlier morning, he bike. So you're using bike as the verb, which you absolutely can. You can say to bike. So you can look at this picture and say that object is a bike. So that's the noun, but you can also use this as a verb to bike. But you have to look at your subject and you have to conjugate your verb. And this is why, even though the present simple is such a basic verb tense, most students still make mistakes with it. And this is why you need to practice, and say these out loud as well, specifically with the subjects he, she, it. So he bikes to the ocean to see the sunrise. Exactly. Now, you can say early in the morning. I think, or maybe you meant to say every morning, early in the morning or every morning. Okay, very nice. I like this one. He marvels Okay, notice you forgot the L. It's VELS. He marvels at the picturesque scene every morning. Very nice sentence. So the verb is to marvel, but with the spelling, it's MARVEL. So you need that L, marvel. Repeat after me, marvel. Marvel. And when you marvel at, notice that preposition, which this student used perfectly. You marvel at something, it means that you look at it with deep admiration, deep respect. So you really enjoy and admire what you're looking at. And that is exactly what it looks like this man or woman, it's hard to tell, is doing. He marvels at the picturesque scene every morning. Really nice sentence. Great job. All right, let's try another one. Yes, and you corrected it. Here's the correct spelling. He marvels. Very nicely done. Good correction. And this is why I love doing these lessons, because I love correcting you, giving you feedback, and helping you improve your mistakes. So if you're watching the replay, still leave examples in the comments, because I'm happy to review them as well. So put your examples in the comments and make sure you practice out loud. And if you're enjoying this lesson and you want me to make more lessons like this, where I do give you the feedback live, we interact live, even if you're watching the replay, well, then like this lesson, subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson, and put yes, just for fun. Put yes, in the comments. Now let's see our next scene. Oh, okay. Maybe a more challenging verb tense, perhaps definitely a more challenging verb tense since 2016. So you can say 2016 or 2016. It's more common to say 2016 in my experience, just because it's easier to say 2016 instead of 2016. 2016, but both are correct. And remember, this is why it's so important to say it out loud, to make sure you have that correct pronunciation as well. And notice we have since 2016. So what does that tell you? And this is why we're focusing on the time reference, because the time reference is such an important piece of information when you're forming a sentence in English. And it's the one area I find students don't pay enough attention to. If students really paid attention to the time reference, I think they would correct most of their mistakes or learn from their mistakes as well. So what could we say here? I've been dating him since 2016. Exactly. Very nicely done. So this is I have as a contraction. Repeat after me. I've. Very soft. So to form the V, remember that your front teeth go over your bottom lip. And then you push out. I've. I've. But notice how soft it is, because you don't push out the sound really. I've been dating him. So our verb is to date, and you date someone, which means you're in a romantic relationship with someone. If you're dating someone, you're in a romantic relationship with someone. And this action started in the past and it continues until now. So, what verb tense is this? You have it correct here. Of course, is the present perfect continuous. I've been dating him since 2016. Very nicely done. And Satyajit said, I've been living in New York City because we have the beautiful Statue of Liberty, which of course is in New York City, in Manhattan. I've been living in New York City, NYC, since 2016. Exactly. Very nicely done. And notice you live in a location. You live in a country. Living in, well, New York City is a city, not a country, a city. And you can write I have, or remember, you can do that contraction. I've. Excellent job. Okay. Now, this is why we're practicing as well. So I love when students make mistakes, and you should never feel bad about making mistakes because when you make a mistake, you learn and you improve. So as long as you learn from your mistakes, then it's always beneficial. You learn from them. So I've moved to US since 2016. So this doesn't work because I've moved, it's a completed past action. So you can't use since 2016 because we need an action that started in the past and continues. So technically you could say I've been moving to the US since 2016. It is possible that the act of moving started in the past and continues until now. It might be more likely to say since last Monday, for example, rather than so many years ago. But technically, you could put this in the present perfect continuous. AK said, my sister has been living. Excellent job choosing a he, she, it subject. My sister. So you always have to ask yourself, what's my subject? She. She has been living in the US. Now, notice here, the US, the United States, this is an irregular country because it requires the article the. So you can't say, has been living in US. You have to say in the US, which you did. Excellent job. Excellent. I like this sentence. Very creative, Annette. This house has been here since 2016. Exactly. And in this case, you need the present perfect because the verb to be is a state of verb. So you wouldn't have it in a continuous, but it means started in the past and continues until now. Excellent job, everyone. Such a smart group of students. Okay, this is an activity I've always wanted to do. Have you ever done anything like this? Have you? What's the activity here? And then we have our time reference as once a month. Once a month. There are other ways you could say this. You could say monthly. So add ly, monthly, weekly, monthly, yearly, annually. Annually and yearly are the same thing. Bi-weekly exists as well. Seasonally means once per season. But in this case, we have once a month, once per month, or monthly. All of those could work. So, what could we say? And what verb tense do you need with once a month? Once a month. Let's see. Anna said, that man usually rides a horse at least once a month. Excellent job because the action is to ride a horse, to ride a horse. Excellent job. So that man usually is an adverb of frequency. Nice job adding that. So we need the present simple. And then I like how you added at least once a month. By adding the word at least, it means that it's possible this man does it twice a month or 3 times a month or 4 times a month. All right. Here's a good one. Manuela said he rides his horse once a month. And great job getting the verb conjugation. Anna said this cowboy. Exactly. So this is the word we have for a person who lives on a ranch, who owns a lot of horses, who wears a hat like this man is wearing. We call that a cowboy hat. A cowboy hat. There are also cowboy boots, which is a specific type of boot. And a cowboy is most likely to say, howdy, howdy. A cowboy is most likely to say that. So this cowboy rides his horse once a month. Very nice. Horatio said, once a month, I like to go to the countryside. I love that. Exactly. Once a month, the time reference, I like to go to the countryside. Excellent sentence. So this scene is of the countryside. Really nicely done. How about this one, everyone? Oh, we have rarely, rarely. So rarely, we're limiting the action. So rarely is the opposite of usually or frequently. So we have different subjects. Now, remember, you could focus on one subject, the man or the woman, or you could focus on them as a group. So you could say the couple, if they are romantically involved, you could call them a couple, or you could just say they, the plural form of one person, but two people is they. So, what could we say? Okay, Thorvald said, this man rarely brings flowers to girlfriend. Exactly, Thorvald. Exactly. Rarely brings flowers to, but whose girlfriend is it? Because remember, we want the possessive. So her girlfriend would be possessive to the woman in the image. But if you want it to be possessive to the subject is this man. So it would be his girlfriend. This is a very common mistake that I've noticed in these classes that we do together. I've seen this mistake a lot. So just remember, this man rarely brings flowers to his girlfriend because the his shows possession. The girlfriend belongs to him, his girlfriend. Oh, right. And Anna said his girlfriend rarely gets flowers from him. So excellent job, because this is the opposite. We're focusing on his girlfriend. So the subject is she. She rarely gets flowers from him, from him. So she is his girlfriend. Really nicely done, Anna. Okay. And Glennis said, my husband. Absolutely. You can imagine that you are in this scenario. My husband rarely gives me flowers. Is this a reminder to all the husbands and boyfriends to buy your partner flowers? Patricia said he rarely surprises his girlfriend with flowers. I love this. So notice the sentence structure. You can surprise someone, his girlfriend, and you can surprise someone with something. So you might say, my teacher surprised us with a fun activity. Or my husband surprised me with a trip to Hawaii. Wouldn't that be awesome? I don't want flowers. Give me a trip to Hawaii. All right. Very nicely done, everyone. How about this one? Not yet. Not yet. So we have the negative not. So you need to conjugate that with whatever verb tense you're using and whatever subject you have as well. So for the subject, we could focus on the woman who looks like a mom. It's possible she's a babysitter or a nanny or a teacher. Those are possible. Remember, be creative. Maybe she's an aunt or a sister. So be creative about who this could be. And then we have the kids here. So, and we could also look at other things as the subject to think about not yet. We could look at things in the room as well, because you can always choose an object as your subject. For example, the house, the computer, the dishes, the coffee, all of these could be regular subjects. Okay. Rennet said, not yet. Has she done her homework? Yes. So this has the base of an excellent sentence, Rennet. So great job. Let's change this around to focus on a more common sentence structure in English, which would be subject and then your verb. So she has not done her homework yet. Or you can say she has not yet done her homework. So the placement of yet is flexible. You can say she hasn't yet done her homework or she hasn't done her homework yet. I personally put yet at the end is just more common for me, but the other form is acceptable. Okay. Martina said, the bored woman. Exactly. So bored, to be bored. Great job. So the bored woman. Repeat after me. Bored. Duh, duh, duh. So that's very softy. Bored. The bored woman. The woman is bored, but bored is the adjective. The bored woman hasn't called the day yet. I think so this is an excellent sentence structure. Hasn't called the day yet. There's an expression in English to call it a day. Let's call it a day, which means that we're ending whatever task or whatever work we're doing for the day. So maybe you could say the bored woman hasn't called it a day yet. Okay. Andre said she has not yet finished her homework. Exactly. This woman, she's very busy and she's trying to finish her homework, but these kids are interrupting her. Manfi says she hasn't played with her kids yet. She has lots on her plate. Excellent job. So to have lots or a lot on one's plate means to be very busy. So it's an idiom to mean I'm very busy. Ashen said, this woman hasn't completed her presentation yet. Exactly. So notice we're using the present perfect in the negative, and you need to change has or have. That's the auxiliary verb. You need to change that according to the subject. So with he, she, it, you need has. All right. Excellent. What about this one? We have currently, currently. So what does that tell you about the verb tense that you need? And there are many subjects in this photo. So you could focus on certain people. Maybe you could use some adjectives to describe them, although they're all wearing very similar things as well. But you could try to describe them using some adjectives. You can also view them as a group. So this group, and in that case, it would be a collective noun. This group, the group of friends, the group of friends, or you could just say they, these people. All of those are different subjects. Again, be creative. Be creative with your subject. Okay, and what could we think? And currently. So, currently, this is another way of saying right now, or currently. Right now, or currently. Those are the most common ways. And this is a clear indicator that you need which verb tense? Which verb tense? Well, let's see. AK said, couples are enjoying their vacation currently. Exactly. I might say these couples, which is really interesting because the word couple represents two people. So if you say, I have a couple of tasks to do, it means two tasks. I would like a couple of cups. You want 2 cups. So a couple represents 2 people, but it looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4 couples and 1 woman not in a couple. So you could say these couples, and then you're making couples plural because there are 4 groups of couples. Really nicely done. Okay. Thorvald, they are currently taking a photo. Exactly. Currently is flexible as well. You could use it at the beginning. Currently They are taking a photo. They are currently taking a photo. They are taking a photo currently. So it's flexible. And remember, you can always form that contraction with the verb to be and your subject when the verb to be is an auxiliary verb. There, there. They are there, air, there. So native speakers pronounce this in a very unstressed way. There. They're currently taking a photo. Very nice. They're currently taking a fun photo. Exactly. This is an easy way to just make your sentence a little more creative and perhaps sound a little more advanced is add an adjective, add an adverb, add something additional, an additional time reference as well. Or add another sentence. They are having a lot of fun. So, a statement as a great way of making a simple sentence like this a little more advanced, a little more creative. Okay. So I'm glad you wrote this because these couples, exactly, it's really interesting to use couple as plural, but you absolutely can. These couples are, so don't forget your auxiliary verb, the verb to be conjugated with the subject. Now, you need have with fun, have fun, have fun. These couples are having fun currently. All right. Cecilia said, currently, all my siblings, your siblings are your brothers and sisters. I have one sibling. But then someone could ask me, oh, sister or brother? And I'd say, a brother. Oh, younger or older? Older. Currently, all my siblings, their partners, so the husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends of your brothers and sisters, and me are enjoying our holidays abroad. Excellent job. The only one tiny thing, Cecilia, in this case, you want and I because it's a subject, not an object. And I are enjoying. So, an easy way to remember is would you say me is enjoying or me are enjoying or I am enjoying. You would say I am enjoying. So you know you need the subject I, not the object me. Really nicely done. Our last one, everyone, and we will do since last week. Since last week. Okay. What could we do for this one? Since last week, you see some arms, but you don't really know who the subject is. But in that case, we could view them as a group. It could be the team, the department, the company, the office. All of those would be collective nouns and it would represent the subject it. Or you could use, of course, they would be plural, of course. So what could we say? And we want since last week. We already practiced this one before we had since 2016. So this will be easy because you already know what verb tense you need. It started in the past and it continues until now. Anna said, I've been off since last week. I love this. Excellent job. The team is busy at work, but not you because you've been off since last week. So to be off in this context, it means to be off from work. So maybe on holiday, but it's also possible that it's sick leave as well. So we don't know, but I've been off since last week. And because it's to be off, we can't put that in the continuous. Wonderful sentence. I really love that. Fabio said they have been brainstorming. So our verb is to brainstorm. When you think creatively about ideas and strategies and how to solve problems, and you often do that with a group, but you can absolutely brainstorm on your own as well. You might brainstorm ways to improve your English speaking skills, for example. They have been brainstorming, started in the past and continues until now. They've been brainstorming their new project since last week. Really nicely done. Great job. Manuela said the coworkers have been. So in this case, you can't form a contraction when it's the coworkers. It's just the coworkers have been making plans with an S or a plan because plan is a noun. So you need an article. A plan, the plan, if it's specific. But if you add an S and you make it plural, then you don't need an article. Have been making plans since last week. Very nicely done. All right. Horatio said they have been very busy since last week. Exactly. And dear Zach said, "Where were you? I haven't seen you since last week." Exactly. Very nicely done. I haven't seen you since last week. Awesome job using it in the negative as well. You can absolutely have something negative that hasn't continued for a period of time. I haven't studied English since last week. Hopefully, you wouldn't say that. Very nice. And the team is busy planning the project since last week. Okay, the only thing we need to do is you said the team is busy, but you need to say the team has been busy, has been busy. That started in the past and continues until now, since last week. Amazing job, everyone. I so enjoyed practicing with you. I so enjoyed reviewing your sentences, giving you feedback, helping you improve. Do you like this style of lesson where it's interactive? I give you feedback. And please, for everyone watching the replay, do you like this lesson as well? Is it interactive and engaging for you watching the replay as well? So if you like it, of course, like the video, subscribe so you're notified when I post another one, and put yes, yes, yes in the comments so I know you want another lesson just like this. And if you have any ideas on what we could practice next time, if there's a certain grammar point you want to practice or certain verb tenses you want to practice, put it in the comments as well, because I would love to brainstorm different ideas with you so I can make this the best lesson possible for you. So again, put yes, yes, yes in the comments. And thank you so much for spending this time with me. And I will see all of you very soon. Sending love to all of you. Bye, everyone. Bye.